What's up, I'm the Cartoon-theorist YT. Listen, I've seen movies before, but none have moved me as much as Across the Spider-Verse. I think this movie got what the first one got wrong, that being Spider-Man is not an idea, he's a person, and that person inspires us to be better. But one of the best things about this movie is the villain, the Spot. For those who don't know, the Spot was one of those villains in the comics that writers could use when they had no one else to be the villain. I mean, the amount of disrespect towards him is crazy. In his first appearance in the comics, just like in the movie, he was seen as a joke. I mean, you got Spidey on the ground laughing at this guy. He goes for a swing and does a Sandman Spider-Man 3. He starts to beat Spider-Man, but stops, and the next fight he loses. After that, he had some small appearances, and then he became a nerd who wears a Portal costume. And somebody tell me how that makes sense. Now, let's talk about the movie. He walks into a store with a jacket and shades, and attempts to steal money from an ATM. The man opens one of his holes and shoves his hand through it and paws. Anyways, he gets in a fight with the Jamaican owner and just makes a mess of the store. Miles pulls up and, like the Spider-Man before him, laughs at this guy. The fight is embarrassing. He's trying to fight Miles and is getting his ass kicked while Miles is texting. He is so bad the very powers he has are being used against him. By the way, he, just in Miles' words, kicked his own butt and disappears. This would be the evidence towards why he's the worst villain, when in fact it leads to why he's the best. The next time we see him, he's raising up a woman in a whole different universe before the fucker shows up. She's out here crushing men's dreams. Anyways, all three of them run at him. Miles kicks and gets thrown out. He launches Gwen and Miles into the two buildings effortlessly. You can tell he's having fun doing this. He's laying back chilling, hopping from portal to portal. The fight between him and Miles is so personal for him that you can feel it. When you slow it down, he just teleporting, and then boom, hits him into the wall. Miles, being the most powerful Spider-Man, gets up in seconds. He, however, doesn't know the Spot's not out here to play games. He teleports and dashes around Miles, keeping him distracted enough to smash his head into a pole. Miles then tries to swing somewhere else, but there's no point in that, as Spot's out here like,
Don't you run from me, you are not fast enough.
He's copying Hulk vs. Loki, and he slams him through 3 different buildings. He then goes to get the milk, but realizes it's gone, so he comes back and slams him like he's the milk going in the trash. This is all as he's again talking about his holes to these kids. He then effortlessly breaks into Alchemax. Hobie shows up and with no eyes, Spot bodies them all, chokes them, and then slams them around. Just to remind you, there's 4 different spider people attacking him. One of them includes the dude who outsmarted and beat in a fight with more than 100 spider people. He becomes Lil Mabu's ultimate form and disappears, dropping one of the hardest edits of all time. One of the best things about him being the villain is that because Miles' father is becoming the chief of police, he, according to Miguel, needs to die because it's a canon event, meaning the Spider Society is not only going to allow him to carry out his revenge, but is going to try and fail to stop Miles from saving his dad. It's like if Thor tried to save Loki from being killed by Thanos, and then all the Avengers and Thanos fought him. Like, in a weird way, even the heroes are on his side. I feel like this all comes back to his origin story. Miles indirectly created him, made him the Spot. He lost his friends, his family, his job. He caused him to suffer, and when he finally presented himself to Spider-Man, ready to tell him about the pain that he caused him and how he wants to cause him the pain that he felt, Spider-Man laughs at him. He calls him a villain of the week. This causes him to want to obtain more power to become more than a villain of the week. I mean, the writers of Spider-Verse took a lame villain who no one truly cared about or knew and turned him into the biggest threat to appear in a Spider-Man movie. And I think that's one of the best things about him. He, at the beginning of the movie, is a lame villain. He looks like a Dalmatian. He gets his ass handed to him by a regular dude and then gets easily beat by Miles Morales. Then he just kicks his own butt and disappears. Like, that is super, super lame. It sucks. In fact, as I was watching it, I was like, really? Is this guy gonna be the villain of the movie? Then, towards the end of the movie, you see him evolve and become a much more menacing villain. A man who is now going to destroy an entire universe just because a 16-year-old said he was a villain of the week. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Please be sure to like, subscribe to see everything animated related. With that said, stay tuned.